we spoke about a little bit earlier, potential contenders, of course, in the Western Conference. That means they're going to have to face someone in the East, and we spoke about it. Is it going to be the Celtics? Is it going to be the Milwaukee Bucks? Speaking about the Milwaukee Bucks, they have been on one of the more impressive heaters this season. 11-game win streak last night, defeating Joel's Boston Celtics in overtime.
Without 4 starters, Sam Hauser and Mike Muscala started.
We got it.
Yeah,
we got it.
Listen, that's a valid point, though. Of course,
if you watch ball, you know that.
That's very true. But, Riv, of course, I'm going to start with you. What do you think about the Milwaukee Bucks? What is their ceiling? Are they the best team in the NBA right now?
No. I think the Boston Celtics are still the best team in the NBA. I think they're one of the best.
0.5 out of first place.
Yeah, I think the Bucks are like top 3, top 4 team in the league. I think they're a great team. I think Giannis has been on a heater lately. He's been amazing.
He's been insane.
Offensively, he's been destroying teams as of late in this stretch. Brook Lopez has been one of the best rim protectors in the league. Drew Holiday, he had 40. He's been solid. The Bucks, though, their problem is always going to be, what is Chris Middleton going to look like? Is Chris Middleton going to be that Robin, or is he going to fall asleep? We forget pre-ring, Chris Middleton had a lot of stinkers. He was a guy that didn't show up on a regular occurrence. Then go to that finals, that run, and he comes up and he performs. And now we forget what happens. Now he's injured. He's a little bit of an injury-prone type of player. So it's going to be interesting. You look at the depth of the Bucks. Little age. Wesley Matthews is one of their defenders. Pat Connaughton's a good player. It's just tough for me. Bobby Portis has been hitting the 3 at the rate you want him to hit this year, but I feel like as the year progresses, he'll get back to that range.
He's missed some time too.
But I think
the fact that he's missed some time.
I think it's really just the Bucks or the Celtics for me. I love Cleveland. Cleveland's a great team, but I just think they're a year away. And if they do sneak into the finals, fucking hooray! But you know what I'm saying? I'm not really seeing it because they're not ready yet. But I think the East is really just the Bucks and the Celtics. I look at Philly as a team that can give the Bucks problem because I like that Embiid versus Giannis matchup. But I think it's just between the Bucks and the Celtics. I think as great as the Bucks have been, Mike Budenholzer still offers coaching disadvantages. He's still not a good coach. He still struggles with schemes. He struggles with substitutions. This is a guy that really got saved by that ring. He would have been fired had the Nets completed that win in round 2. But Budenholzer would have been gone. But you look at the Celtics, you look at the Bucks, I think it's just them two in the East right now. Philly's a dark horse, definitely, because we're counting them out. But I think the East runs through the Celtics or the Bucks.
John, what do you think?
Mr. Dehls, this Bucks team
Me and Rip look alike. So.
Yeah, we do. We're both handsome.
Is scary. You add in Jay Crowder into this fold.
Holy shit.
God, this is the opening argument.
You added Jay Crowder.
For a defense that already has Drew Holiday, Giannis, Pat Connaughton, Brook Lopez, Chris Middleton's a good defender. The only missing piece is Chris Middleton. He's going to have the stinkers, but his presence alone takes so much pressure off of Drew Holiday. When it's alleviated and he's got more of the playmaking role, the half-court offense is good enough. And let me tell you, in the half-court defensively, we know the Eastern Conference is going to come down to 2 teams. The Cavaliers are a sneaky third. I like the Knicks. I like a couple of other teams in the Knicks, but we know it's going to be the Bucks and the Celtics. Even if Chris Middleton's not in the lineup, I think they beat the Cavaliers. In the half court, the Bucks are the best defense in the NBA. And when your defense is so good where you can take Jason Tatum out of a game, which we've seen in the playoffs.
Drop fucking 45 in Game 6, win or go home.
But that's the thing.
Show some respect, John.
We have to be honest. If Jay Crowder's playing physical.
Stop.
Jay Crowder? I was told that Drew Holiday and Wes Matthews were supposed to stop Jason Tatum. You told me that.
And Wes Matthews in that series.
I think it was game
46, my bad. Not 45, 46.
And then they folded.
Come on.
Hey, Drew's a better response.
Exactly. That's why I said Drew.
7 for 15 from 3.
But you told me, bro, Wes Matthews is doing a good job, bro. Imagine Drew Holiday.
Game 1, did he not do a good job?
Yeah, game 1.
Yeah, he got cooked after that. What do you want me to do?
Game 1 and Game 3, that's really.
We're taking a victory lap on a game 1.
Well, it was lit.
Have some class.
It was up. Oh, the Lakers guy. Class.
And that is where my argument begins. Because Brook Lopez last year is not the Brook Lopez of this year. He has been a defensive player of the year. His rim protection, he's moving better. He's a year off back surgery. I don't care how old he is playing at an incredible level on that side.
He can stroke it.
And he can stroke it.
That brother can stroke it.
So the reason I mentioned Jay Crowder is because now Drew Holiday doesn't have to take on that assignment at all. You can have
He will.
If you want him to, he can.
Have to.
Believe me, he's gonna get into Jaylen Brown's cookie jar. He's gonna.
Oh
get
no,
in there.
but he has. Drew
Respect
has
Jaylen
to
Brown.
take Jason Tatum.
Respect Jaylen Brown.
He has to.
This is Drew Holiday we're talking about in the playoffs.
Talking about Jalen Brown.
We're
It's
talking
the same
about
respect.
We're
two
talking
elite
about
players.
Jalen Brown.
If Jalen
Okay,
Brown,
but
just
Jalen
had
Brown against
any
elite
sort of
defenders, we
ball
saw it versus
security,
Victor Oladipo. We saw against many guys. Drew Holiday.
We saw
gave
Oladipo
him a
pluck
tough
him like
time.
good 25 times every time he was
Because
guarding.
his handle is
It
careless.
was kind of it was really easy though. He was just like I don't know what it
But
was.
now he's a better scorer
he's not a better boy. I think
than he was last year.
He's a better scorer. Ball
Yeah, but
handlers thing.
it's still.
Oh,
He's
Nah,
still the
that's
same.
why I was very careful with
He's
my
a better
words.
shooter now. Well, his 3-point percentage dropped. He's just a better scorer. Yeah, it's weird. He's a better
Yeah, John,
scorer.
I'm sorry.
3-point percentage dropped. I don't know.
Drew can get underneath Jalen, and for the Celtics, we know how great this team is.
Wild.
Wild.
Yeah, John. Yeah, I'm sorry. That was immature of us.
The little man always wins.
That was nuts. That was nuts.
So I say all of that because the Celtics are a team that relies on three-point shooting and variance.
Oh yeah.
If you can get physical with Tatum and bump him off his spots and make it tougher in his drives, Tatum doesn't have that elite skill that he can rely on in those moments where against an elite defense, that level of
Stop. He
competition-
dropped 46
Bro,
in a game
stop.
6 to go home.
But that was against a Bucks
Let him
defense
finish,
that
let him
did
finish,
not
let him
have the
finish.
perimeter defense. They did not. They had no Chris Middleton.
Let him
They had
finish.
no
Let him
Jay
finish.
Crowder.
Let him
That's two
finish. Let him
starters. You guys were fully healthy. And Robert Williams back
Robert
in the
Williams
mix.
was hurt.
Joel, let him
This
finish.
year-
He's playing 10 minutes a game.
This
you know
year,
he's
he's
never
still
gonna let
working
him
off
finish.
the
This is
torn
Celtics
meniscus.
topic.
So I know I'm coming at you because you're a Celtics believer, and you should be. But we have to acknowledge there's not a team in the NBA that matches up better against the Celtics
Agreed.
than the Bucks.
Agreed.
And when you talk about how good Jason Tatum is, top 10 player, we're talking about Giannis, defensive
that
player of the
number
year.
up.
We're talking about
10.
Brooke.
That number up.
Top 8, top 7. Well, let's do it. Top 6. If we're
Okay.
kind of durability. But we know against a defense that is no. We know against a defense like
He
this,
said no. Oh, we blew another lead.
they're going to play physical with Tatum. This is
They are.
one of the most physical teams in the league. He's not going to be able to get to the rim against this team. Brooke Lopez, and I know
Sounds
he's
like you're
gotten
talking about
better
the
this year as a
Warriors.
finisher. I'm talking about the Bucks.
Oh, sorry.
And I hate to say it, Joel's a big PJ Tucker guy. I'm going to sound weird here, but wherever Jay Crowder goes, Memphis, they're a playoff team. Miami,
Finals.
Suns.
This is your
finals,
PJ Tucker.
64 wins. Not my PJ. No,
'Cause of
no,
Jay
no,
Crowder.
No, John
Not because
Conchar
of
is my
everybody
PJ
else on
Tucker.
that
my
roster.
God.
I'm sick of him.
Jay Crowder is a needle mover. And in this type of setting, the same way the Celtics brought in Blake Griffin to defend Giannis, in some sports, 5-10 minutes, believe me, the Bucks brought in Jay Crowder for this very series. And I think when you look at what he brings on the defensive end, coinciding with the potential of Chris Middleton being healthy, which he started playing more games, he's getting a little bit more continuity, a little bit more work in. The Bucks are the team to beat in the East.
If Jay Crowder went to the Cavs, would that move the needle enough for them being in contention?
I would have loved that move.
I would have
would
loved
too.
that. Oh, believe me.
I'm just trying to gauge because Jay Crowder, he's a good player, but
Yeah.
let's not act like if he would have went some middling team, he puts them over the top. He joined really good teams.
Oh, yeah, and this Giannis Antetokounmpo is getting the PJ Tucker piece. You know?
I don't disagree.
This is Giannis.
Yes, for
Best
sure.
player in the world.
No, that's why it's not Jay
Jay
Crowder.
Crowder's
it's the
defense
teams.
is not like that of PJ Tucker.
But it's the role that he plays, that physicality, that bumping, that bruising.
He's
that
way better
toughness.
offensively. I mean, not that
Oh,
he's any
yeah.
great
He
offensive
can-
player.
Not
but
impressive.
Jay Tucker-
Also
the gap.
matters.
Yeah.
Talk
There's a
about,
gap.
talk about stroking it. He helped he get to the finals with that 3-point
He
shot.
did. I was there.
All right, Joel, now it's your time. Come on.
Listen, John, I don't have an issue with the whole Bucks. If you want to argue Bucks over Celtics, I have no problem with that. The Bucks are a phenomenal 11-game winning streak, but I don't appreciate the Jason Tatum disrespect. Like, we didn't see him last season against the Bucks do his thing, multiple 30-point games, 46 in a closeout game, game 6 at home in Milwaukee. He put up 46, shot over or 50% from 3, played out of his mind.
Oh, 50% from 3.
46, whatever. What was it?
That's not the
Oh,
point.
sorry.
3-point shooting.
Yes.
Different Bucks defense.
We're the best 3-point shooting team in the league.
They allowed a lot of threes.
And the entire series, that's why they lost game 7
They're clowns.
because
Oh,
of
yeah.
the 3-point shooting.
Big time.
So listen, if you want to take the Bucks, that's one thing, but I'm not going to sit here and let you disrespect my GOAT, Jason Tatum, and pretend that he can't do it or he hasn't done it against the Bucks. He has done it against the Bucks. He can show up. You could throw your strays against the Warriors. He's in his head. I get that, and he deserves that. But for the Bucks, he's proven himself that he could get over that defense. And listen, Jay Crowder for sure is an upgrade for this team on the wing. Chris Middleton will be there, but let's not act like Drew Holiday is still going to be the main piece guarding him on the defensive side of the ball. He's going to give him fits for sure. Drew's a great defender, but Tatum is going to get his. He's not going to go out there and shoot 4 for 17 or something like that. So just want to get that off my chest because this is a Bucks topic.
Yes, and speaking of the Bucks, Jingle and Joe's in the mix too off the bench and pick and roll.
Joe Ingles. Okay.
Joe Ingles can stroke it.
He can't defend.
On this Bucks defense, you don't need him to.
So I looked up
Need to
this.
shoot him.
I wanted to look up this stat. And I found it. Field goal percentages when guarded by Drew Holiday this playoffs. 28%.
Past one.
Zach, yeah, the one there.
Got it,
28% Zach LaVine, garbage. 30% Jason Tatum, not ideal. 38% DeMar DeRozan, garbage. 38.5% Jaylen Brown, not ideal. Players are shooting 30.6% overall versus Drew.
This was the last year's playoffs?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair.
He was doing this thing.
Let's talk about the Bucks. Yeah, that was never the question. This falls right in line with Middleton coming back. He came back 11 games ago, and they're on an 11-game winning streak. Now, it's not that he's been put in the starting lineup. He's been coming off the bench for these 11 games, but his presence has obviously been felt. They've needed someone who could create their own shot, an offensive player. Obviously gives you defense too, but it really felt like they were missing another offensive piece when it's really just Giannis playing bully ball, being a running back. Credit to Rib, as he told me that. And Drew Holiday, who could obviously create for himself too. But Middleton coming off the bench, once his minutes has been upped, he was starting around 10 minutes, 15. He's playing around 20, 25 minutes right now. He's averaging 18, 19 points a game. Pretty efficient for the most part. And overall, he's been a big help to this team. Obviously, he's been in and out of the lineup this season, missed the playoffs last season. So as long as he could be healthy, we know the impact Middleton can have, especially if you are a Bucks fan or Bucks supporter, you're going to be looking at this series last year against the Celtics and saying, we're missing our second best player. If we have him this year, we could get over them in 6-7. I get that. But it's also Giannis just putting up ridiculous numbers over this stretch. 37 points per game in these last 11 games, which is the highest scoring average
in the world
during a team's 11-game win streak in NBA history. Also averaging 13 rebounds, 6 assists, damn near 60% from the field. Giannis has been ridiculous. I was giving him some shit early in the year. Not shit, but we had a nitpick early in the year when we were doing MVPs, all-star starters, and while Giannis was putting up great numbers, it was his least efficient season in the last 5, 6, 7 years. His efficiency is getting there now. Not that I ever doubted it would, but when we had a nitpick, I want to, at least make up for that because I was talking shit because I like to talk shit on Giannis. And Drew Holiday has been... Why?
Yeah, why?
I'm a Celtic fan.
So?
He's our biggest rival in the East right now.
They got to prepare for part 4 this year.
Yeah, and Drew Holiday, obviously been fantastic. He dropped 40 last night against us to beat Sam Hauser, Mike Muscala, Payne Pritchard, and those boys. But great, obviously great defensive. Derek White, of course. But honestly, it's just this Bucks defense is ridiculous. I think they're third right now in defensive efficiency, but you can make the argument they're the best defense. Personnel-wise, I mean, they match up, like you mentioned, perfectly with the Celtics. They have guys who could guard down low. They have guys who could guard on the perimeter. You have Giannis and Brook. Like, the defense they could play and the lineups they could put out there are going to give fits to any offense in this league. It doesn't matter who you have out there. Their defensive lineups are fantastic. Offensively is the one area of the Bucks that you worry about because when things are set in the half court and you don't have Giannis at full steam just running into the paint and causing fouls and having kick out opportunities, the offense does look a lot different. Now, a lot of that has to do with their defense creating offense, right? You get stops on the defense side of the ball, you could get in transition. The Bucks, I knew they were always going to be here, right? You knew eventually they were going to get it together. They were going to go on a run, look like one of the best teams in basketball. Ever since the KD and Kyrie shit kind of blew up, you knew it was going to be Bucks and Celtics, right? We do have respect for the Sixers and those teams, but these two teams feel like a tier above the rest of the East right now. It's going to be my ECF prediction, as everyone else's is. I'm going to have Boston still, but obviously the Bucks are right on their heels.